education, security, name it. Issues in the news on OSBC Radio 104.5 FM in Liabuyoke Bale Oshogo is a veritable platform to be known. We are set to serve you hot every Monday between 10 and 10:45 in the morning. Join Babatunde Okutomi on Issues in the News. It promises to be educating and informative.
Welcome to Issues in the News on OSBC Radio. Babatunde Oguntomi is my name, and this morning you can also follow us on YouTube and Facebook. We are talking politics in Nigeria today, Monday, the 31st of May, 2022. 2022 presidential contest. The Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's connection. The yes or is it no? Monetization of politics in Nigeria, looking at primaries of all of the PDP, and of course the way presidential aspirants in the APC have also been going around trying to cajole delegates to come and give them support. Some reportedly spending millions of naira. The rejection of Atiku Abubakar by the Ohaneze Ndigbo, who have been saying that once the PDP has come up with a presidential candidate, then their party has nothing to do. All the Igbos have nothing to do with that political party, which they regard now as a northern political party. Then let us look at the influence of northern elders in the emergence of Atiku Abubakar as presidential candidate of PDP, and what lessons are we to glean from that in the Southwest in particular. As I said, the guest is in the studio, and I'm happy to introduce to you a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, a former national officer of that party, for instance, and somebody that has been on ground for several years in the state as a grassroots politician, of course, a politician of note. Honorable Akin Omalaoye, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, my brother. Good morning out there to our listeners.
I've rolled out what I believe we are going to discuss today. I only hope time will permit us to do justice to everything that we have said. You are in the APC.
By the grace of God.
Who is your consensus presidential candidate?
You have thrown a big question that cannot be properly answered at this very point in time, because our party has not held our own presidential primaries, and until such is held, no single person, no matter how highly placed he is in the party, cannot authoritatively say that Mr. So or Chief So and so is the consensus candidate of the party until the primaries are properly conducted as slated for the 6th and 7th day of June 2022. And we are hoping forward seeing emergence of the targeted person, an experienced person who we believe that will be able to paddle the canoe of Nigeria if finally elected as the president of this very country, Nigeria.
Well, the APC has been buying time, waiting for the PDP to behave so that you will know where to go. The PDP has shown the path. Where is APC?
That is your whole perspective. You are reasoning from your home perspective,
that
which
is the
cannot.
General opinion.
That is the general opinion.
In the country.
That one is not the one. Is not the guide for our party for slating our home presidential primary for 6th and 7th day of June 2022, as God spares us. However, the political pendulum should be properly studied before a concrete step is chosen or is done. And in this very wise, we are looking forward to putting our house in order to ensure that the presidential primary will not defy the party. And we are at the leadership of the party, toiling, crossing all T's and dotting all I's to ensure that a successful presidential party primary is fully held.
Yes, many have rumored that the former president, the man who was defeated by the APC in 2015, and of course I would say bullied out of office, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, is now the consensus presidential candidate of your party, though the president will learn this today that has disowned that kind of arrangement. I mean, Buhari himself has said no, he was not in support.
Thank you so much. As a politician, until a person is pronounced to have won a contest, rumors will not be relied upon, because it means that one is actually carried away by the winds, and our party can never be carried away by the winds. And the joining of Ebele Jonathan joining our party is not a threat, and I don't think it will constitute any threat whatsoever. In the political side of the intellectuals that compose or are members of APC, even before his coming, people must have made up their minds who can be trusted with the rulings or the governance of this country. And his entrance now, I think, to me, should not be a sway to let us forget where we have been coming from and what is our target and how to achieve those targets that will actually pay off this country.
Let me ask you a question. What's your take on the emergence of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar as the PDP presidential candidate?
Oh, thank you, my brother. You know, I'm not a member of PDP, but as a Nigerian, my own personal assessment is that they have chosen their own presidential candidate, which cannot be faulted, because they must have actually reasoned appropriately in appropriate tracks, leading them to support Atiku, and who finally emerged as their presidential candidate. However, to the sake of Nigerians, we are here to judge, you are there to judge, and the final day is actually coming when you will be opportune to utilize your franchise mate, the right to vote for whosoever you prefer. And areas of contestants will be put before you, where you will be able to actually exercise that very contest. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, and it behoves of you. You are expected to use your power, the voting power, rightly to ensure that this very nation is not plunged into the gutter or doom, and we will not be doomed.
Not limited to the PDP. We heard that at the PDP National Presidential Primary,
yes,
which held in Abuja, that it was a matter of dollars raining. As also, it has also been alleged that even some of the major leading presidential aspirants in the APC have also been giving out money. What? To people who vote for them and their own next presidential primary. What is the money, the factor of money in Nigerian politics? Is it not this is what is killing this country? When you have to spend a fortune to get to an office, wouldn't you try to make a fortune when you get there?
Thank you so much. This is not the first time when Nigerians will experience this kind of thing. I was giving millions of naira a delegate. It is unfortunate. That is my own stand. And because money can actually waive the right judgmental senses, and this will not be allowed in our political space. And it is quite unfortunate that if people are using money to buy the hearts and consent of the people, is quite unfortunate. It means that you have chosen the wrong path because of money, pecuniary gain, monetary inducement that those contestants actually overture being actually placed before the delegates. Quite unfortunate. If at all they had actually followed that very influence to choose the person that has been announced to have emerged the presidential candidate, it will be a thing that such a person will live to regret of.
As I said, this is not peculiar to
a particular party.
Political party.
We have not heard.
We have also heard
that is a rumor. Okay, let me tell you.
Going about giving delegates 60 million, 30 million. What used to be the case that take 5,000 and go and cook a pot of it will be takes million and go and build a house in this country. The concern really is when you, as you rightly said, when you mortgage your future by taking money from a candidate. When he gets there, he goes there to
recover his investment. My brother, we are all Nigerians. I believe we are getting to the appropriate junction where we have to stoop down and think wisely, deeply, which directions we choose. If, there are two options before us now of the fast governance, which money will bring about. Because the moment you are allowed to be purchased, the moment you allow your conscience to be waived, to be tossed here and there, definitely you have actually missed the right track. And by the time one misses the right track, the end result will be a regret. Regret in what sense? The person who has brought that whooping amount of money, billions of naira, to purchase the ticket, will actually recover, because it will regard it as an investment that should not be left unrecovered. And immediately he or she gets to the position of elective position or whatever, the target, definitely the utmost aim will be, one, to recover what he has spent. Secondly, to actually model things up to favor those people who he has used to achieve, to get to where he is presently. Wherefore, he won't be able to distribute, to appoint the right people into the position, because he will need to be listening to those people who have actually joined him in getting the way fast before he got to the position he is presently. And that wise, Nigerians are called to their right to ensure that nothing will fast them off the right track, but they should be able to think properly and to maintain their stand, that we are prepared to salvage, to save this very nation from this very perilous terrain we are currently trekking in.
I love that. We should try to save our country from drifting further into a peaceful position. The program is used in the news and it's on OSBC. The guest is Honorable Akin Omolaoye. Yes, let me take a look at what the Ohanese Ndigba said about the emergence of Atiku. Is that good for this country?
To me, as a person, it's not good to say that a tribe won't follow. Such a tribe has rejected the emergence of Chief Atiku, Alhaji Atiku. So, as a politician, they wouldn't have said that. Yoruba says, "Inu ni oko eye mangbe." What you would do, you know it within yourself, and when the time is ripe to act accordingly, no one will disturb you, no one will teleguide you. You act appropriately to ensure that your aim and your intent is actually expressed through the appropriate processes, which is
ballot paper.
Ballot paper.
Now, look at also what was allegedly done at the PDP campaign. That even at the peak of it all, somebody was a bright northern candidate, aspirant, had to step down for another northern aspirant, and that was said to have been facilitated by northern elders. It's not. It's like, look, this is our own, and the Easterners are also saying, no. Once you have done that, we are not going to follow your path. Tomorrow, a Yoruba man may imagine maybe the candidate of the APC, then he
by the grace of
will
God.
now have to produce their own candidate,
By the grace of
and
God.
we go into regional politics. Back to regional politics.
Oh, you are only peeping into the papers.
Well, I'm a journalist. I can speculate.
Okay. But what the Northern Headers did, I believe, it is not restricted to Northern experiences and tricks of or ways of doing things. That is what we called political intrigues and lobbying. You know, that one was adopted to ensure that crises were affected within the party, PDP then, and it is not new. That is lobbying. That is part of critical stage of application of intrigues, wherein you settle scores and you go to the inner room to actually put your heads together before you come to the fore and display what must have been decided upon. And that one is cheating us. Every clique or tribe has a way of solving crisis without going far into the Western processes of litigation and other things. Well, that is, I do not, and I'm family, and therefore it is they saw it as an opportunity that should not be waved off, and that was why they put their heads together. This is fantastic.
Instead of a southerner getting this ticket, let's come together.
No, I'm not saying
No,
you were not there. You were not there.
You said the house should not be divided.
So
must this house be divided in the southwest?
Oh, that was today's topic. I am grateful, and I'm very, very sure that Yoruba is a fantastic and highly experienced tribe who is onion and who knows how to settle internal crisis that will not actually divide our Yoruba nation as a body, as a family. And when we get to that point, I believe our leaders are going to put their heads together to ensure that our house is kept as united as ever.
You said repeatedly.
Yes.
It's like you are a prophet. You know where the next APC presidential candidate will come from. You believe it will come from Yoruba land. I put that to you.
By the grace of God, as a Yoruba man, in the scheme of things as we have been experiencing it, I believe this is the turn of Yoruba nation to produce a common position and fight this very party primary.
Sons that are
by the grace of God, when we get to that point, if a given tribe has succeeded in doing that, in quote, I believe
you will also
Yoruba is maintained.
Okay, yes, I love that. That's let's come to our own state of Osun, where the governor has been going on. Were you part of have you been part of the team?
Oh, by the grace of God, I'm presently the Osun APC Osun West Senatorial District Chairman, and I've been part of the team that have been going around. We commenced our campaign, governorship campaign, and I've been following the trend, and we have been participating appropriately.
How has it been?
It has been a fantastic outings, and we were received in those places in a colorful manner, not a jamboree way, because the fundamental steps that were taken to ensure that we do not hire vehicles from various parts of the state, from all local government, and be following us to a given federal constituency, giving local government is not adopted. But we move. We want to know our capacity. We want to know how acceptable our party is. We want to know the actual number of people that are actually truly party members, and we have been meeting them, and we are impressed.
Listening to comments on radio this morning about the performance of Mr. President. Maybe that will take that as the last question of this platform to this morning. How impressed are you about the performance of the APC since 7 years ago?
By the grace of God, I won't be biased and I won't be an all political. So we have been in Nigeria since the inception of this very democratic governance in 1999, precisely, where if we are building up a cumulative assessment devoid of bias, we knew how Nigeria was before, prior to 2015, before APC came on board, and we have been, if we have been pragmatic, rhetoric, and juxtaposing your political achievement with the arrays of problems, one will be able to know, to assess, have you met the standard, have you achieved, have you failed. To me, we have some challenges presently, but at the same time, we have moved, we have surmounted some critical problems that were bedeviling the nation before APC came on board. And in terms of, if we are facing with security challenges, we should look to other side, where we have actually fared very, very well. In the areas of economy, in the areas of international relationship, in the area of peacekeeping, in the areas of the GDP. Are we faring well? Are we lagging behind? I believe, by my whole overall assessment, that's to me as a Nigerian, I believe we are moving forward. However, we have some other teething problems that should be properly addressed, and that one, critical out of them, is security. And I believe, I always say it, I won't say that because I'm a APC member, I should not say the truth. We are expecting the present president, our president, to look inwardly, critically, into how to actually address this very disturbing, unwarranted